how to use the OS Maps app. Hi, my name's Ben, I'm a UK-based mountain leader and welcome to Summit and Beyond. Right, before I get started, this is a video about how to use the OS Maps app to learn basic map reading skills. This is not going into how to use the app, like the functions of it. I can make a video about that. However, I felt like this was an important video to make after my last video that I did about mountain leader versus GPS navigation apps, because I did mention in that I do use OS Maps app and it is a great tool, and so I thought I could share a bit of information around how that people can use it to assist them in learning basic map reading skills. Having basic map reading skills is essential for you to have a positive experience and to take away that anxiety about getting lost. Just using the app alone to navigate is not the most effective way and will not take away that anxiety. So I'm going to cover like a good way to use the app and then a bad way to use the app. The good way being the most effective way to learn basic map reading skills, and the bad way being like what I see a lot of people doing, cutting corners. I'll start with the bad and we'll end with the good. I'm seeing a lot of people navigating using their phone, and all of the people who stop me and ask me which way to go, where's the summit, am I on the right track, apart from about 2 people all season, the majority have been using the apps to navigate, and they've been completely lost, wandering up and down the trail, staring at the phone in disbelief and wondering where to go next. And it's usually after the clouds come down and they're feeling quite lost, and that's because they're trying to use the app as like a get out of jail free card. They're looking at what's the best way, what's the best easiest way for me to reach, for example, Scafell Pike Summit. Right, okay, so I park in the valley and I walk up the hill, but how do I know I'm on the right track? So I need to be able to navigate. Well, I don't know navigation, I don't know map reading. Oh look, I can get an app. Well, if I download this app, it's got GPS feature on it. That's really good. I can just follow the GPS and it'll show me where to go. So they follow the GPS and that shows them where to go until they get into a position where they can no longer see the road, they can no longer see buildings, and they're literally just surrounded by mountains. What happens then is, because they have no understanding of how to actually map read, they are not able to understand the features that are around them, and they become confused. The GPS, if it's working, will show you exactly where you are, but if you're confused and worried in your own mind and you're feeling anxious about where you are and you're feeling a bit out of your depth and lost, the information that's presented to you doesn't really matter because you're already feeling that inside. So if you can get rid of that feeling inside and feel more confident about where you are, then you can look at the GPS and know, I'm happy with that. But that comes from being able to map read. And I don't mean like navigate using like bearings and compass work and things like that, and it's basic map reading skills. Another bad point about these apps is if you want the OS mapping software, you have to pay for it. If there's an app out there that doesn't have OS software on it, I wouldn't buy it. There's not much point, you're not going to learn from it. You're literally just going to be following a GPS dot. I would personally recommend buying the OS app because it works with the actual paper maps, and I think that's important to assist you with map reading. Google Maps culture. So a good way for me to put it is, if I come to Carlisle, and I've never been to Carlisle before, and I want to get around, I use Google Maps. That's the most obvious thing to do. All I have to do is type in where I want to go, type the postcode in, the address, and it will give me the quickest route there. It'll cut out all the roadworks, it'll cut out all the traffic jams, and it'll get me there as quick as possible. And that's the same with like the OS Maps app. It shows me where I am in real time, so I can walk and the dot shows me where I am. So we take the Google Maps idea and we put it onto a hiking app. We put it onto that and we go, okay, it works for Google Maps, it'll work for this. There's a whole lot more to consider when you're going out hiking or running in the fells. It's not as easy as just following a GPS. The GPS on Google Maps is literally showing you like street by street where to turn off, where to go. OS Maps isn't doing that. It also requires you to understand what the terrain is that you're going to be moving over, what features are around, so that you still need to have a basic understanding of map reading to be able to use the app safely and effectively. Oh, another thing, so if I'm coming to Carlisle and I don't know Carlisle, I'll use Google Maps to get around. But then if I go home to Huddersfield, so I go back to Huddersfield, I know all the little back streets and I know all the little shortcuts. So I can just go and get somewhere quicker generally than Google Maps can tell me. However, this is going to take us like a nice sort of bridge over onto the good stuff. I can use Google Maps. So if I'm wanting to go from A to B in Huddersfield, I can look on Google Maps and I can see if there's any roadworks, if there's any traffic jams, and if my shortcut might be potentially blocked off or congested. If it is, then I can pick a different route. I can use Google Maps to give me a heads up so I can plan. But I already know the route, I already know the terrain, if you like, I already know where to turn, I know how to get there. And that's exactly the same as what that's the message that I'm trying to give over in this video, is that you should, by being able to do basic map reading skills, you will know the area. I can look at this map here, I know the Lake District, but if I was looking at this map and I didn't know the Lake District, I could study the map and understand the terrain before I even get there. And that gives me a sense of confidence inside myself, knowing what features are coming up, knowing what's coming, what to expect. It allows me to have confidence in where I'm going, and then I bring the compass in and do a bit of direction work, and that backs me up even further. Then if I really need to, I can add pacing and timing. I can start getting into the navigation stuff, which then gives me masses of confidence. But if I was just relying on the GPS, the little dot to show me the direction, I'm relying just on that, and there's confidence in it while it's working, but as soon as I get anxious, the confidence goes with that. What else have I got? The good points of the app. The best part about the OS Ordnance Survey Maps app is that you can actually put the maps onto the app. If you pay for the premium membership, which is $23.99 a year, you get the whole mapping of the UK. So you go on the app and you can literally zoom in and see mapping of an area. However, there's an issue with that. The issue with trying to learn map reading from the app is your phone screen is so small, and you only get like maybe up to 4 inches of mapping on your screen at a time, and that's not enough for you to be able to see the area, the wider scaled area. Trying to learn basic map reading skills on a phone-sized device screen, it's not ideal, it doesn't really work. What you need is the paper map, because you can open that out and you get a view, like a big view of all the terrain and the features around. Now, OS do this thing where you buy a paper map and it has a little scratch card panel at the bottom. You scratch that off and then you enter that code that's underneath the scratch panel into the OS app. And then the OS app recognizes that you've bought the map, puts that mapping into the app. So you now hold that entire map, that you've bought, in your app, and you don't need to be online. You can literally, it's just a file, so you can literally just go and look at it and you can study it. You can then use the app offline to plot a route on that map and save it. That really helps with planning your routes, and that's a really good feature about this app. Is if I get the paper map and I plan my route, and I want to know how long it's going to take me and what the elevation is on it, that planning on a paper map can take a long time. It can take a couple of hours to work all that out. Whereas you can just literally tap a route, create a route in the app on that same map, and you can do it in minutes, and it gives you a rough idea of how long it's going to take you. It gives you the distance and it gives you the elevation profile, which is phenomenal. What you can also do then with planning is you can test yourself. So you can put the phone to one side, you can spend that time plotting the route on the paper map, just using a pencil, using a bit of lanyard or a ruler. You can work out the distance and the elevation profile using the paper map and counting the contours. And then what you can do is you can test yourself. You can use the app as a critical friend. You can then go and plot the route on the app, and you can see how close you were to actually getting it right on your plotting of the paper map versus the app. So that's one way that you can use the app to help you to refine your planning on the paper map. If you get it completely wrong, you can then consider, okay, like what did I get wrong? Did I consider the contours and the elevation with my timing? What did I miss? Did I miss the fact that there's ascent there? Where's the ascent? Oh, look, there's the ascent. You can see it on the ascent profile. Look on the map. Oh, and then you can start to see the shape of the ground. You can start to see that actually that's where the ascent is, and those contour lines are going up, not down, or that's not flat, actually that's going up. Use the paper map to figure out, to learn what the features are showing, to learn actually, okay, what am I seeing? How do I follow this map, this actual map? And this is sort of showing you where you are in real time, and this is the actual mapping of the wider area, so you can see more of what's going on, you can see more information. Going back to like the Google Maps idea of following the GPS, you can follow the GPS on the OS Maps app the whole way around your route if you want. So let's say we've plotted the route, you can just follow it. But a better thing to do is to actually use the paper map to follow your progress and use the app as a critical friend. It's important that you're using the app as a critical friend and not get out of jail free card. And so what I would say is, get out of jail free card being you're completely lost, high up somewhere, there's no prominent features around, you're anxious, you're scared that you're lost, and then you hit that little compass button and it shows you exactly where you are using the GPS, and you're able to get out of there following that. The map goes in the bag, you're now following the GPS. Get out of jail free, compared to you plan a route that's within your capability. So you're not planning to go and do something gnarly or epic, you're planning something like round Derwentwater, good trails low down in the valley, lots of features around, lots of steep ground to the left and right, lots of big bodies of water, lots of river, like a river, trees, there's plenty of houses, there's plenty around there to go off. And then what you're doing is you've plotted that route using the app and the map, and now you're heading out and you're on the trail and you're using the paper map to follow your progress. Now you could stop every 10 minutes or so and you could say, I think I'm right here, and you can point at the paper map and tell yourself or tell your friend, I think I'm right here, I'm in this position here. Why am I there? Because there's these features around me. There might be like steep ground to your right, a lake to your left, like a shop or how it built up area here. There could be all sorts going on, and you're looking at the ground and you're looking at the map and yeah, I'm definitely there. Then get your phone out and hit the compass button so the GPS zooms to where you are, and then consider, were you right, were you wrong, were you off a few meters, or were you spot on? And then if you're not spot on, you can do a process of it, you can like reverse engineer it. You can say, well, I thought I was there, but actually I'm here. What's different about the map? Why did I think I was there? And you can start to see where you went wrong. So you're following the paper map to navigate around using basic map reading skills, and you're using the app to give you some feedback. What I would do if you're new to map reading, or you know somebody who is wanting to head out and do a route, or they don't want to employ help, and they're just going to buy the app and they're just going to go for it. So I would recommend to them that they download the OS Map app, go and buy the paper map of the area that they are wanting to explore, put that paper map onto the app use the app to do the planning, and then head out using the app, obviously the GPS on the app, to make sure that they stay on trail, but also and learn how to use the paper map. And then from there you can progress. You can say, once you start to understand, go a bit deeper into understanding the features, then you can start going into how you can use those features to work out how long it's going to take you, to work out how steep things are going to be. And then from there you can start to implement, you can start to bring the compass in. And the further you go into gaining that basic navigation skill, the more you're going to enjoy using the technology, because the technology is phenomenal and it's great fun and it's a good tool, but it definitely is not a substitute for the actual practical skill of basic map reading and navigation. I hope that you got something from that, and I hope it helps, and keep getting the map and compass out and having a go, and keep practicing. The more you practice, the easier it gets, and then the more fun you can have with the routes, and you won't be scared about getting lost anymore. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video in a bit.